Hey everyone, it's Sonia and welcome to Mindset Minutes. I hope you had a wonderful Easter or Passover the week before, whichever one you celebrated. We had lots of Easter egg hunts and a great Easter hike, so it was good times over here. But here we are at the beginning of the week, and I'm going to talk about something that I have kind of talked about in a variety of different ways over the course of the years, but this is a really powerful and interesting science behind it, so I wanted to share it with you. And that is the lovely self-criticism. You know, that thing you do when you beat yourself up and you say really mean and horrible things like you're not good enough or smart enough or you're too fat or too ugly or too dumb or too fill in the blank enough instead of you're wonderful and fantastic and you can do anything you put your mind to, and the real things you should be saying to yourself. Well, what scientists have found is that this self-criticism actually sets off a threat defense mechanism in your system, in your body, in your brain. It's so powerful that it essentially shows up as a threat. It's telling your body, your brain, you're under siege, there's danger here. That criticism, and with that threat detection system, it sets off a stress response. So all of a sudden your heart rate goes up, your blood pressure goes up, your muscles tense up, your cortisol levels go up. Everything gets ready for a fight, flight, and fright. All because you're saying really mean and horrible things about yourself. Pretty powerful, right? That's the impact that it has on your body. Well, Paul Gilbert and Kristen Neff, two scientists, have really been looking at what can be done to sort of counter that. And it's landed in self-compassion, right? Good old be kind. That is the antidote to that self-criticism. But just being kind and compassionate, saying nice things to yourself, just as if you were talking to a child or a student or your very best friend or someone who you love so much, or even your wonderful, beautiful pet. All of these people and things that we tend to treat better than ourselves, if we spoke to ourselves as if we were speaking to them, it would completely change that stress response. It would release that threat mechanism that's going on in our brains and in our bodies, and everything would start to go back to a calm level. So the next time you find yourself beating yourself up or saying really mean things to yourself, notice the impact that it's having on yourself. Notice, are you getting all riled up? Are you getting upset? Or are you getting down and getting sad or really depressed or just, hopeless or helpless? Because all of those things can also set off this stress response. So notice first how you're feeling, notice what you're saying, and then start to move it into a self-compassion. Almost as if you were talking to a child, like, hey, it's okay. You got this. You can do this. I know you can do it. Just take one step at a time. Hey, come on, I'll go with you. I'll take, I'll go along for the ride. Or, you did that so well. I hope you notice what you're really doing well. That other thing, okay, what could you learn from it? And then how can you use what you're so good at to really shine or thrive? Any of those really kind things, just like you might say to somebody that you really loved, eases the tension and the stress response, gets you out of that fight, flight, or fright, puts you back into kind of a level playing field where you're way more productive and operating from a more resourceful place. And what it also does is it changes the brain system. So it changes the neural pathways. It starts to put a more positive spin in your brain. So two things happen. You alleviate that stress response and you start wiring your brains for success or for kindness or for fulfillment and happiness. And that is a much better place to be. So have some self-compassion. Take those thoughts and go out and shine.